product review for Audio Guts, audioguts.com. Not to be confused with Amp Guts. Fuck Ant. What's that? I don't know. I don't even remember his real name. Anyways, Anthony something Cordova, something like that. Anyways, this is the Soundstream, old Soundstream T5. They did a couple of different versions. This one, of course, is the cheaper version. All they did was a Mylar decal on the back. This is the Tarantula frame. This one is the diamond cut version, which I prefer. And I really like this frame for several reasons. One of them having a large base so that you can use a larger hole pattern, like for some of the power base stuff that's like 160 millimeter or just some weird size like 145 or 140, something like that, millimeter. This one uses a standard 5-inch pattern, which of course is 127 millimeter. But you guys already know that. And it does have cutouts or tabs for quad terminals if you want to run that. They know that they're not doing it, so they didn't drill it out for that. Later on in the SPLX version, they did do some of that. So this one uses, you can see vents in the butthole that go into the pole. This one is only 170 millimeter diameter slugs, and then probably like a 3.5-inch inside. It's more akin to like an RE Audio SE, and SEX, which was the later version with a different frame. Basically, it's a 1,000 watt RMS motor, and it depends on what coil you use. I'm going to use a copper coil for this one. The guy that brought these in, Lou, he's my sort of helper guy, and he also maintains a lot of the swamp coolers in here. Right now, I'm running no swamp coolers, and it's still fucking middle of July, and I still have not turned on my air conditioner, mostly because it saves me about $500 a month. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I got a shitty roommate, but he pays me $500 a month, so that's what I'm putting up with right now. But again, real quick review, triple stack on this one, which is nice. You can see the magnets are not perfectly aligned, which I get all the time, and usually they have a boot that covers that so that you don't complain about it, because some of you guys have OCD and you don't realize it. No one's ever told you that you have it. Most people have not told you have a small dick, except for your mom, who loves it, you know, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually stealing these from Lou because he doesn't really need this frame, and I do. I have other clients that want it, so I'm stealing it from him. Oh, good catch. He's actually going to use it for home audio, so I'm going to give him some ugly yellow frames, which Curtis Navarro hates, and other people hates, and Lou will probably hate, but it functions just fine, and it'll do the job that he needs, which is home audio. And I think I have some dual 6 coils that I want to put in here, that he's going to wire series parallel for a final 6 ohm load, and then he's hooking some big home theater, or not, no, a PA amp, a big professional audio amp on it. But, oh yeah, ID and OD. So gap ID is 75.1, which is pretty normal. That's what I use, actually 75. And then OD is 84.5, which is kind of in between. For me, I do a slim at 82.5 millimeter. I do a normal at 83.5 millimeter, and then I do an HD heavy duty, which is more of an 8 layer at 85.5 millimeter ID on the washer, also known as an OD on the gap. Again, you're measuring that gap, a little space. So when I say what's the ID of the gap, it's the OD, the outer diameter of the pole, and then the ID of the washer is the OD of the gap. Does that make sense? Good, I hope it does. So anyways, I'm doing a conversion, and then I'm hooking these up for home theater, and they're going to kick ass. But that was it. That's all I wanted to show you about this one. Again, Soundstream doesn't make anything. They just have Chinese people make it. As far as China goes, this is actually a pretty good woofer. They probably saved some money by using an aluminum coil on it. I'm not going to do that because I want that heft. But I am going to use Lord of Bass's really cheap, soft spider, or I might even do leads through the cone, again because he's using it for home theater. He doesn't need super high excursion, so even if he has a little bit of tinsel slap, it's not going to be a big deal. I can put some cone on the back. Again, cheap, because I'm basically doing these for free because I love Lou and I love the work that he does, but it doesn't really justify just giving him, you know, fucking $300 woofers. So anyways, I think that was it. Oh, and he'll use, I'll give him choice of the cap. I'm going to use the regular modular system, which is our 5 Series Johnny 5 cone. and then his choice of cap, and he'll probably choose carbon fiber. So, but that was it. There's the Soundstream T5 old school. There are other versions that are taller and use chrome, but I have not run into that version. I don't know if there's anything else I can tell you, except that this top plate is just a, it's either a hot forge or a cold forge, where it just stamps it, and then they drilled and tap M6 in a 127 millimeter pattern. The pole is machined. Other than that, it's just kind of a cheapy Chinese woofer. But as far as performance goes, it would be considered a high performance woofer, just because there's tons of shit out there, and there, especially home audio companies, that would charge you, you know, $2,000 for something like this in an enclosure with an amp. So, but that was it. Love you. Bye.